Hello. It is a Easter themed workout. Easter themed, literally, we're just going to spell the word Easter and do a few rounds of that. Oh my gosh, how Eastery. It's full body, it's just your body weight. You might need a chair or something for tricep dips. If you haven't got one, don't worry about it. Come down to the floor. No, just keep feet moving. Warm up the wrist, go a few rotations round. So I have fallen over and got a little cut on my wrist. So I'm going to not do so much of the upper body stuff, but don't worry, I'm here for you. Hopefully you just have a wild time. Warm up the shoulders, give a few circles forwards, keep the feet moving a little bit, and a few circles back. So we do a warm up. As always, we never exercise before doing a warm up. We'll do the workout, and then we finish with a stretch. So you've already known this is a 40-minute video, so you're ready to do the whole lot. So with the arms forward and back, getting a dynamic stretch of your chest and back, meaning you just feel it pull and you're just moving dynamically. Bum, 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 bum. I really wish I had some bunny ears or some kind of like fancy dress for Easter. I don't. Maybe I want to invest in. Going into a squat and then side leg lift, squat, other side. Squat, lift your leg to the side, squat, other leg. Go side and slightly back, side and slightly back. So you start to engage the side of the hip more than the front of the hip. Knees down, push up, so coming down to your knees, hands wider than your chest. Drop your chest between your elbows, push back up. Repeat. If you need less, come into box position and go from there. Do not do it on the toes. Even if you're capable of doing the toes, save that for the workout instead of the warm-up. And jump up, arches lunge with the reach. You're going to lunge back, reach up, switch legs. Drop your knee towards the floor, feel the stretch in your hip flexor. At the same time, we're getting into the legs. Bum, 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 bum. Hip flexor. Oops. And then good morning, fingertips on your temples, feet underneath your hips, hinge forward and rise up. So what that looks like from the side is your hips push back and your chest stays long and lifted and tall. You're not looking for your shoulders being below the hips. You just feel a stretch in your hamstrings, the back of the legs, and then a release. And we're going to the wrists again, so a few circles rounding it, or you might want to kind of push into the hands, maybe pulling back. Again, whatever is preparing your hands for weight bearing. Bum, 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 bum. I feel like I get this in my head way too often. And warming up the shoulders, trying to bigger circles. So reach it down, maybe even like shrug your shoulders up to the ears, relax them down again. Thinking about kind of rounding your back, opening your chest, really getting some mobility and movement into your upper body. And then open those chest. And yeah, keeping the feet moving in somewhere, whether you're marching the spot, you're side tapping, maybe you want to have a little jog on the spot. Doesn't matter what you want to do, just not standing completely dead still. Squat, side leg lift, squat, lift up the side, squat, other side. And yeah, temptation is going to be to kick slightly forward, which is going more into the front of the hip. We're looking for the side of the hip. So to do it, marginally behind. Coming up to the floor, knees down, push-ups. So hands wide on the chest, knees down, or in box. Lower the chest between the elbows. This one trying to get range. So trying to get it so you feel that pull on your chest. And then squeeze, come back up. So you're aiming to feel it stretch as you push your elbows out. Squeeze as you pull your elbows back in again. Jump up. I'll do forward lunges with a twist. You're going to step forward. If your right leg steps forward, twist to your right. Push back to standing. Left leg steps forward. Twist to your left. Keeping alternating. Perfect. Coming into good morning. Fingertips on the temples. Push your hips back. And rise up. Rise up. Feel the stretch in your hamstrings. Don't worry about bending and trying to bend your back. You might need to be not quite as low. And we do it all again one more time through. Warm up the wrist again, anything you need to do. If it's doing big old full circles or dynamically stretching the front and back of the wrist. Whatever you need, whatever you want, whatever you need. I don't know. Warm the shoulders. Let's see if we can do full arms. Make the circles even bigger. Circling in both directions. Again, maybe even rounding your back, opening your back, arching back a little bit, maybe. And open those chest, swing arms forward and back. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Nice, coming into that squat again. So this time you're really trying to sit a little bit deeper into your heels, push your knees out and try and get it so your thighs are roughly parallel to the ground before you stand up, watching that you're not overarching or over rounding your back. Perfect, knees down, push-ups again. So this time if you've got the range already, try doing same range but a little bit faster. If not, just try working to get into full range. So your full range is arms, chest parallel, or arms parallel, sorry, to the floor, chest in line with your elbows. So trying to get there. You don't need to go below there, but try and get that full depth. Jumping up into lateral lunges, taking your feet wide, bend one knee, push your hips back, switch legs. Feel the stretch in the inner thighs, feel the opening of your hips. Perfect, good mornings. Feet underneath hips, hinge. Yes, perfect. Have a little break. Have a little break. So we're going to be spelling out the acronym of the word Easter, E-A-S-T-E-R, which is 1, 2, 3, E-A-S-T-E-R, 6 exercises. Round 1, it's going to be 60 seconds each exercise. Round 2, 50, and it's 40, 30, 20, 10. So we just keep repeating the same exercises again and again and again. Each time the breaks will get shorter as well as the length of time we work out. So anyways, you push ups, you need your something to incline onto. Bringing your weight forward, do a push up and down, dropping your chest between your elbows. So the point of the elevation is it makes it a little bit easier. So if you are on one of those where you're not quite able to do them on your toes yet, this is a really great way of doing them on the toes, getting the same technique you do on the toes but on a higher incline. If you are able to do push up on your toes, this will feel easier. But see if you can just continue the full 1 minute without having a break. If you do get stuck and you still need to put your knees down on the floor, then you can do that here. So knees come down, you're still elevated, but you can really get the range and depth. Again, the push-ups, unfortunately, there are 2 lots of push-ups. The push-ups is one of the ones that I'm not going to do so good at because I'm a little bit big. Main thing, watch that your tailbone is tucked underneath you. You're only moving your elbows. Your body just moves because your elbows bend rather than your hips going down and up. Going to alternating lunges. I do not mind if your preference is forward or backwards. Just pick one and stick with it every single round. So I'm going to go a reverse lunge, feet hip width, and see how close you can get your knee to the floor. The closer you get the knee to the floor, the more you're going to work the muscles. We're in round 1. We're not fatigued yet. We're really warm, so you should be able to get that good range. If you're doing reverse lunges, you want to have a slight tip forward so you're feeling your weight in your front leg that can stand you back up. So slight tip forward rather than landing and feeling your weight in your back leg. If you are doing a forward lunge, you'll lunge forward and the weight is again in the front leg. So you lunge forward and you're going to then push yourself back to standing. Forward lunge and push yourself back up. And as you do the pushing back up, try not to make your back go like this. And like lock your core and then use your strong, powerful legs. So again, I don't mind. Forward lunge is usually a little bit more quad heavy, front thigh. Reverse lunge gets a bit more of the bum as well. So up to your new preference. And shake off, still in the legs, squat pulses. So taking your feet a bit wider than the hips, turn the knees slightly outwards, squat down, and pulse, pulse, pulse. Now the goal is it's not really fast pulses or bouncing up and down, but slow, down an inch, up an inch, staying in the bottom of the range. If you get stuck, see if before you take a break that you can just come higher and keep in the load. And then if you need to have a little stand up, shake off and get in again as deep as you can. If you can, you aim for the full 60 seconds at the bottom of the range. So I'm hoping you're 30 seconds in, hoping it's getting a nice, decent little burn now. And if you want to create more burn, it's more active pressure with your feet into the floor. So start to drive your feet downwards. Even thinking about contracting your muscles just a little bit harder. Feel how much more engagement you get. And then really building the burn so it's at the point where you're like, oh, I really need to break up 60 seconds. Bum, 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 bum. Yes, perfect. Coming to tricep dips. So you can do this on the floor if you need. If not, your hands are underneath your shoulders. So it's quite narrow. Fingers point forwards. You bend your elbows and then straighten them. Bend your elbows and straighten, bend, straighten. Keeping your back really close to your bench. Step, stare, whatever you've got. If you're doing it on the floor, same thing. Fingers point forwards, hands just behind. And you can either do, I'm going to be on the fist, bending the elbows and straightening from here, or with the hips lifted, there's a little bit more body weight. The only joint that's moving here though is like the elbow bends. You'll feel it in the shoulders, but they're not shrugging the shoulders up and down. So it's just bend of elbow, straighten elbow, bend elbow, straighten elbow. That's the only thing. Hips shouldn't be thrusting upwards and downwards. Just keep them as they are. Again, shoulders not going up and down by the ears. And then see how much you can straighten the arms. So you give it the bend, feel the stretch across here, maybe in the chest, and then the straighten. See how much contraction you get. Contraction. We've got more upper body. So it's eccentric push-up. That means really slowly down. And then I don't mind how you get up. You can push up. Well, we want to do it fast, basically, but I don't even care if you need to go to bottom. You can just get up to the top. So if you can, go on the toes. We're warm. Shift your weight forward so the chest is in line with your hands. And then also slowly down to the floor, looking at the core. As soon as you get past your elbows, you're going to want to dump down quick. Let your body relax all the way down and then maybe push up from the knees. It's okay because I just care about the slow downward phase. If you need to, of course, you're on your knees. As slowly as you can. As soon as you get to that halfway point, you're going to want to drop down. But your aim is to go as slow as possible. And the goal is that your hips land at the same time as your chest, rather than hips, chest, hips, belly, chest like a worm. You've locked in, they land exactly the same time as slow as possible. See how few you can do. How slowly can you lower? How slow? And practicing on this like eccentric phase, the slow lowering phase, can get your upward phase even stronger. So we're smashing out regular push-ups in no time. We're on the final exercise, come into a runner's balance. You're going to be alternating legs. It's like the good morning, but on one leg. So you lift one knee, hinge forwards, step in, switch legs. Oops. Hinge forward, lifting the back knee, step in and switch. So the goal is, as you're hinging from your hips, the back leg is actively driving upwards, like almost thinking about the ceiling's falling and you're kicking it back up again. So you're kicking up, and by kick, I mean a slow, steady rather than a whoop-ah. Hinge and feel the hamstring stretch. If it's stretched too much, you're just not tipping forward as far, but really still try and squeeze the bum of the lifted leg. If you're losing your balance, perfect, doesn't matter, it happens. Your balance will only improve via practice. And I should have said, by the way, thinking runner's arms, so opposite arm, opposite leg forward. Have a little shake, have a little shake. So we've got a 45-second break, then we're going to go in again. We're only going 50 seconds now of effort, and then like I say, 40, 30, 20, 10. The break this time is 40 seconds, and every round, 5 seconds less break. One round done. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 to go. Elevation push-ups, whether the higher the elevation, the easier. The lower, the harder. So if you're, for example, in a home and you've got stairs, and you're in a place where you can work out the bottom of the stairs, you could either use like the first step, second, third, fourth, etc. If you're like me, you just got these for your sofa, you can have your sofa with cushions, or lift your cushions, you'll be a little bit lower. Or if you've got a bench at home and you can use different things, you can use that. But we're going for the incline, shifting the weight forward, just down and up. You don't need to focus on the pace. So it's just dropping and driving, not having a slow down phase or up phase. Just a steady, steady drop, drive, drop, drive. As you drop, aiming again to get your body in line with the chest. You don't need to go further than that. And then once you're pushing up, push and almost think about doming your upper back. So you're really squeezing your arms in, feeling the full contraction of your chest muscles here as you push, 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 push away. Push. No sagging or arching of the hips. Also, so remember, whichever one you picked, stick with that. If you do reverse, stick with reverse. If you do forward, stick with forward. 2 seconds. If, by the way, you are looking for a little bit more challenge and you're okay with a bit of plyometrics, you're also welcome to have a little hop at the front, a little hop hop if you're doing a reverse lunge, or you can hop and step your feet in the middle to add a bit of plyometric training, or even more explosive, you could just have up, switch legs in the air, down with the other leg forward. So up to your challenge, your workout, and also your living space. If you've got neighbours below you, please don't be jumping around. If they are, sorry, my name's not HG Fit, I'm like, oh no, I'm a coach or something. You've got another 12 seconds to go. Getting the legs really nice and burning and tired. Knees as close before as you can in the back of the leg. And then standing strong. Let's commit to the squat pulses. Feet wide on the hips. Turn the toes out. Posture is good. The hips close to ribs. And then squat, pulse, pulse, pulse. Shift your weight back into the heels. Think about your butt dropping low in line with your knees. So we want to make sure that we're not just bending at the knees like this and just lifting the hips up and down and feeling that stretch again. You're aiming to get the bar down and the chest up. You also shouldn't be bolt upright like this. That is going to completely get into your quads, potentially and give you some knee pain. You want to get the hips back to get more joints. So you see here, just the only joint moving is the knees. And then here, we've got knees and hips, and technically ankles as well. Got another 10 seconds to hold. 10 seconds. Tricep dips. So get in your position either way, hands underneath the shoulders. So if you just do this, it should be that you should be able to sit on your thumbs. Getting quite narrow. And then keeping your elbows in line with your shoulders as best as you can. So aiming to just push the elbows straight backwards instead of flaring them outwards to the side like this. Elbows straight back to really isolate triceps. Elbow, bend, straighten, not shoulders. Shrugging up and down. Yeah. Oh yeah. I did a self-prophesizing video the other day. I said about doing mobility flow without the use of your wrist, and since then I fell over, spread it, got a cut, and it's nothing major. Just it does hurt. You've got another 7 seconds to go. Perfect. Eccentric push-ups. How slow can you go? It's 50 seconds. Can you aim for 5 reps or less? So 50 seconds, shifting your weight forward. Really taking your time. If you notice the hips start to go, just put the knees down for sure. You're looking for the butt to be up in line with the shoulders. Just slowly lower down. You might even be able to release your hands off the floor. If you want to roll on your side, get back up. That is completely fine with me. I just care about how slowly you lower down and really focusing on not just dropping hips and then belly and then chest and then bending your elbows. So you only get closer to the floor by the elbow extending. You've got 15 seconds to go. How few have you managed to do? And if you're on more than 5, that's fine. Just something to aim for, isn't it? That'd be one day where you come back and you're like, oh my god, just did 5 push-ups, or fewer maybe. Coming to the runner's balance. So finding balance, if you're lifting your left leg off the floor, you're going to have your left arm forward. And tipping forward and stepping in and switching legs. If you would like to make this a little bit more challenging or adding a plyometric to it again, so you can either add more challenge by having a slightly longer pause here, maybe play with coming up quickly before you switch legs, or you can come up and hop to switch legs and thinking about landing, tipping forward, tipping and landing in that runner's balance. Rather than tip then go, you've got to tip and land into the hamstring. Again, that is an option if you're looking to advance / add plyometrics. Plyometrics means jumping or explosive movements. You got 7 seconds and then you get a break. Have a little break. Only 40 seconds of recovery. Have a sip of water. So we've done the worst 2 rounds, 60 seconds, 50 seconds. 40, 30, 20, 10. Gosh, done. Elevated push-ups. And again, getting to the right, there's 2 sets of push-ups in this workout. So your chest, your triceps and your shoulders should be getting pretty tired. And then also your core, so just watch out, again, that you're not starting to overarch through the back or just sag your hips down and up. Even if you reduce your range eventually, just try and get that nice form. So, elevated push-ups. I'm only gonna do 2. If you are doing these, by the way, do spread your fingers as much as you can. It really helps distribute and take some of the weight across the whole hand and kind of palm, and not just focus all the area in the wrist. If you're really close together, you'll find you get a bit more in the wrist pain. You're in the final 10 seconds to go. 10 seconds. Alternating lunges. Whatever you did, backwards, forwards, do it again. If you started to add maybe a little hop hop, maybe you want to add that again. If you tried it and thought absolutely not, maybe don't try it again. If you did it and didn't manage the whole time, this is 20 seconds less than the first time. So give it a whirl, see how long you can go for, and maybe start doing it every single round. Potentially by the end, when we get to a 10-second round, you'll be able to complete the whole round. Yes. You have 15 seconds to go. And then if you're jumping the whole lot completely, anytime we jump anything, whether it's the upper body or the lower body, you land with bent legs. So landing near the bottom of your lunge. Squat pulses. Feet a bit wider. Hips back and down. Oh, I should have said as well, I don't know if you noticed, so between each exercise, that is also getting a bit shorter because the first time you needed to demonstrate. Now we're in round 3, you know what's coming. So maybe just a little reminder, the final round, bam, 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 you'll know it, you're in round 6. So there's going to be 0 breaks between any of the exercises, either it's just smashing out 10 seconds as fast and hard as you can. 15 seconds to go now. How much lower can you squat? So again, just thinking, if it's burning, cool. If it's a burning in a place you can tolerate, cool, go lower. Push harder into the floor. Really drive into the edge of the feet and the heels of the feet. Feel the downward pressure, feel that change, the strength in your lower body. Tricep dips. Hands underneath the shoulders. Bend your elbows. So shoulders away from the ears. Just bend the elbows. Straighten your elbows. Bend your elbows. Straighten your elbows. I really wanted to do an Easter themed workout. Do you feel festive? Do you feel Eastery right now? It's quite a lot on the upper body though, isn't it? Whoosh. You're in the final 12 seconds to go. 10 seconds. How low can you get? Can you get it so your arms are parallel? Can you straighten your arms anymore? Whoosh. Eccentric push-ups. It's the low, slow lowering phase. 40 seconds. Can you do 4 or less? So super, super, super slow on the way down. Locking in, not starting with your hips low and not starting just low with your hips and coming to your like an up dog cobra from yoga, but instead getting the bend, 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 bend. It's all about, if you're on the knees, bending, 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 bending the elbows, bending the elbows, bending the elbows. Push, pushing up the power. Pow. Lowering super slow. And yeah, I am being lazy. I'd like to do this so I can, but let me know how you're getting on. You can do it for both of us. You've got 3 seconds to go. Runner's balance. Finding balance. Tipping forward. Driving the back foot up. Up, 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 up. Oops, by squeezing your butt. Extending your eye gaze to the floor. Option again to make it so you land. Hopping to switch legs. And lifting your leg up and landing in the bent position rather than straight, then tip, straight, then tip. It's going to really start to engage your hamstrings, your back of the legs. As soon as you're landing in this position, that stretched position, they then kind of contract to slam the brakes on to make sure you don't overstretch, and they'll contract to tee back up again as well. So yeah, just adding that little bit more explosiveness is just going to make them really engage. Break coming up. Shake off. 35-second break, have a lot of water. We are getting into much less time. So when you were working for 1 minute, 50 seconds, 40 seconds, it's a long time. Looking for you to do a more endurance pace, meaning you're not like exploding them. You're just kind of getting through it in a pace that means you can hopefully finish the time. Now we're into lesser pace. Try and smash out your reps more, even if it means you need a bit more break. The only one you're not going to speed up is the eccentric push-ups. You're going to keep it even slower. So 30 seconds, elevated or incline push-ups, drop and drive. If it means that you lose your technique by adding speed, slow it down again. I want you to see how fast you can move with good technique and good range. Bam, 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 drop and drive and drop and drive. It's very unrealistic timing set by me who's not doing it. Down and up and down and up. Nice. Worst round's completely down by the alternating lunges. So if you can, adding a little hop hop. If not, it's a jump jump or a hop in the middle. Maybe as you split, but either way, see how close you can get the knees to the floor. So maybe you've got that hop hop. See if you get the knees to just graze the floor. Just a little bit, so you still do that and adding speed and explosiveness. If you're not jumping, that's fine. You're just going down, up, with just a little bit more oomph, or forward, back, with more explosive power. Your heart rate should start elevating these rounds a bit more than they did in the first ones. Have a little break as soon as you're ready. Squat pulses. The squat pulses, maybe you start to speed them up a little bit. Not so fast that you look like you're on like a pneumatic drill, but it's still just a little bit more energy to it. Each round, your energy is going to lift. Even though you're technically more and more tired, you're just moving a bit more. Bam, 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 bam. Getting the same power from your legs. By the way, there's no reason for me to not do these lower ones. there's no excuse. T, tricep dips. Get in the position. And then see, bend the elbows, straighten the elbows, bend the elbows, straighten the elbows, bend the elbows, straighten the elbows, bend the elbows, straighten the elbows. Straighten the elbows. Yeah, the first round's endurance. In 30 seconds, you may well complete as many reps as you did in 60 seconds. So it's just a different type of strength training, But either way, it's like working the muscles is good for what you want to do, but this one's just a little bit more high rep, more power, and like I say, potentially higher heart rate coming as well. Eccentric pushes. I want to slow down. Speed up, sorry. Keep it super slow. Slowly lower. So slowly as you can. I would be happy if you only managed to do, say, like 2 push-ups in this time. By the time we get to 10 seconds, I want you to try for just the whole 10 seconds slower. That is punchy. This is me saying as well, try doing almost like 10 seconds slower, which is tough. So please don't feel bad if you're not doing that. I'd be very happy with like 3-4 seconds down. But I'm just trying to really think about it slow as physically possible. Runner's balance. Finding balance. Maybe hopping. Bam, bam, or stepping out. Either is good. Oops. But again, just trying to move with a little bit more oomph. Pow, pow. Full set up in between each one. 10 seconds to go. Then only 2 rounds left. And by the way, there's also no finisher. So it literally is, we do 60, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10. Bosh, down apart from stretching. Have a break, 30-second break. 30 seconds, I'm hoping in that time you did need to take little rests. This time it's only 20 seconds. Again, I'm more than happy if you need to take a little break because you're absolutely smashing out your reps. If you can do the full 20 seconds smashing out with great range and great technique, please hit me with it. Otherwise, push up, let's get set up as quick as we can. Setting your weight up, incline, and drop, drive, drop, drive, drop, drive. Drop and drive, drop. By the way, people that do things like push-ups or whatever on their fist the whole time, mad respect for you. I find that really uncomfortable. You're halfway already. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Even if you get like here and need your break, just keep repping it out. You're aiming to get muscular fatigue. That's the goal. Alternating lunges straight away on your feet. Aiming to jump, hop, or whatever you're doing, but moving explosively. But aiming to get every muscle in the body tired. So it doesn't matter if your heart rate's really getting high. Doesn't matter if the muscle's getting really tired. It's literally the goal. It's why I signed up today. Squat pulses straight into it. So you'll see there's no breaks now. We're just going straight into one to the next, EAST. Next one is tricep dips. So quickest transition as you can, either to the floor or to your sofa. Try not to waste time by thinking, oh, shaking off. No shakes now. It's only 20 seconds effort. Let's go, tricep dips. Set the weight up, as soon as the shoulders over the ears, you're going in, down, up, down and up, down and up, down and up. So what, 6 exercises, 20 seconds each one. It's only 2 minutes of work, but 2 minutes of just going to town. Ears next, it's going to be the eccentric push-ups. So you can slow it down on these. Let's go, hit the floor. So slowly down, like you're moving in slow motion. Quickly up anywhere you like. And then so slowly down again. Really trying to target the entire upper body landing at the floor at the same time. Not hips before chest, not necessarily chest before hips either. Nice, up run is balance. 20 seconds. Exploding or tipping and just testing your balance. Standing with a bit more pow. Pow. 6 seconds ago, then you've got a short break, you've got one more round, pow, done. Little break, 25-second break only. This is your final round. You don't even have to worry about this one. It's literally 10 seconds each exercise. Why 10 seconds? Why is 10 seconds compared to 60? And you know exactly what you're going. Your brain to body connection is fully there though. It knows what you're doing in each one. So you know what you're doing. You're just aiming to get to the point where you can't do any more. So 5 seconds elevated push-ups. Set yourself up. Lock it in. And go 10 seconds. Can anyone do 10 push-ups in 10 seconds? That is a big ask. That is very much for the advanced people. But I'd be interested to know. Alternating lunges. Jumping or stepping, jumping or stepping. Again, maybe you can do 10 in 10 seconds. Maybe we can try that for all of them apart from the eccentric push-ups. S-squat pulse as soon as you can. Squat in, pulse, 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 pulse. Just dropping, driving, dropping, driving with intensity, with energy. Tricep dips. Drop, drive. Make sure you're still getting full extension in the arm. You're not just going into 3/4 range. All the way down, all the way up, all the way down, all the way up, all the way down, all the way up. Eccentric push-ups. Can you do one only? If you need to do 2, it's totally fine. Try for 1. Just keep going slow. Slow, 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 slow. You've got 3 seconds. Slow, 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 slow. Front is balance. Final 10 seconds. Let me know how your hamstrings feel tomorrow. This is one of those ones I don't notice at the time. Come on, 3 seconds, it's done. Boom. Well done. Well done. I did a lot of what I do at the Common, really, just standing and coaching and not demonstrating too much of that at all. So hopefully it didn't impact your workout. You did amazing. I already know you did if you got to this stage. And by the way, that's even if you have a shite workout, you still did amazing. Still press play. Coming to all fours. Bring your fingertips to face you. And then just get a lean back. See a bit of stretch on the forearms here. Feel a stretch and just breathe here. Breathe in, breathe out. Lean back a little bit. You might be further forward, you might be further back, just going to where feels good on your wrist range, because there's a lot on the wrist on that tricep dips and 2 rounds of push-ups. Oof. How do we feel? Do we feel like eating a load of chocolate? We already eaten a load of chocolate. I'm coming in, knee and nudge with the shoulder stretch. You take one arm forward, tuck your pelvis under, get a hip stretch, lean forward slightly, take one arm across, doesn't matter which, as long as you remember it. Stretching the shoulder at the same time, work the shoulders in the tricep dips and both round of push-ups as well. Every little thing gonna be alright. And bring the hands down the floor. Just push your hips back, feel the stretch down the back of the hamstrings. Every little thing is gonna be alright. Again, though, one of the things that I like about the runner's balance is while I do them, I'm like, oh, it feels quite nice. Maybe that's just me. And the next day, I'm like, wow, hamstring. So yeah, let me know how you got on. Let me know how few, like, how if you manage to do super few of the eccentric push-ups. Other leg forward, tuck your pelvis under, other arm, just take it across, stretch your shoulder. Leaning forward as much as you need to in the hips. Yeah, I would love to know how you get on with things like what did you most want to work out? The speed by the end? Did you manage to get, say, for example, the 10 incline or elevated push-ups in 10 seconds? Be keen to know. Did you manage to get really super few eccentric push-ups? Hamstrings, push hips back. Like to hang hamstrings. Oh, I want to know everything. Drop me comments, drop me messages. Let me know if you feel Eastery. Let me know if you want me to invest in some kind of bunny ears for next year, because I think that will make it more authentic. Nice. We're going to stretch triceps, so you can come to kneeling or you want to sit, whichever you like. Just take one up, bend the elbow, pull back until you feel the stretch in the back of the arms. Ligasaur. And breathe. Get the heart rate back down again. Switch your arms. Gonna be alright. Yeah, perfect. Lie on your stomach. Just bring your elbows underneath you, pull your chest forward. You might want to have your hands up if you feel pinching in your back from here, but you're thinking of you're pulling your belly and chest forward, stretching your abs out as much as you can. I'm going to do a slightly longer chest stretch because I did a lot of push-ups in that. God is there with you. There in spirit. Lie down on your front, open your arms wide to the side, bend one knee. Say you bend your left leg, take it over to the other side. And you're looking to feel a pull and a stretch across your chest on the other side. If you want more, instead of having straight arms, you come to bent arms and go from there. That will give you a more intense stretch. Or just play with moving around the arms. You're also going to get here a stretch of your back. You can pull the top knee back over your hips. You might want to just have knees together if you need a bit less. You can also use your hand on the floor to rotate you further. Other side. Take your arms on, bend, stay the right knee, take the knee across the body. Cactus arms are nice, free arms, straight arms. Move around until you feel a good stretch. And release. If you feel like you do want to do any more stretching, please do. Maybe you want to take a little child's pose, little cat-cow. But well done. I can't feel my knees anywhere. Feel like a kid, got grazes. How sad is that? Yes, well done. Thank you so much. Happy Easter. If you either one celebrate or just enjoy the time off. I've already smashed out chocolate. Whoa, but just enjoy it. Don't forget about it. Don't feel like you have to punish yourself if you have. Just enjoy, have a nice time, and hopefully see you soon. Hopefully enjoy the workout. Thank you very much.